Hello, everybody. Welcome in. This is the Christo Mac Show. My name is Christo Mac. And today is Sunday, November 29th, 2020. In this episode, we're going to be talking about last night's fight between Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. And what I thought about it and the results. So let's just get into that right now. So last night, some of the key takeaways that I found from Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson, and both of their debuts in the Legends Only League. First of all, I gotta say, it was extremely enjoyable. It was definitely worth the price of admission / pay-per-view, as there was no crowd at the Staples Center in California, LA. But they did a really good job with the presentation. They had Snoop-Dog, Israel Adesanya. And Snoop-Dogg was great, man. He was great. He performed, and he was a commentator. They also had Sugar-ray-Leanord. Mario-Lopez was the host, and Mauro Ranallo was like the play-by-play commentator guy, kind of. But Snoop-Dogg was amazing. You know, they had LED lights. It was dark. The ring was real lit up. It was great. I mean, you know, you couldn't really... there was no crowd, but it didn't really... It was noticeable there was no crowd. But I kind of like it, because you got to hear what they were saying. It's just more up close and personal, I guess. But they did an excellent job, again, with presentation. It was great. Now, Snoop Dogg. Hilarious, right? So it was 8 2-minute rounds, and the fight did go the distance. And I'm going to give you the official scorecard, which was a draw. But they had 3 celebrity judges that scored the bout. And on their scorecards, as far as I can tell, Mike Tyson got the win. I believe Tyson won, but we'll go over their scorecards and who they are in just a moment. But Snoop Dogg, man, so it was either the second or third round. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. are fighting. And Roy Jones Jr. was doing this, you know, he was basically running all night, didn't want to get hit, you know, didn't want to get knocked out, essentially. And Snoop Dogg was like, look at that, Roy Jones Jr. He throws his no look jab, because he throws this no look jab, like it's, you know, he looks away, he's already backpedaling as he jabs on, and he's just running. Snoop Dogg comes in and makes a comment to the effect of, hey, look, it's my 2 uncles fighting in the backyard. Hey, uncles, be careful, don't go there, because at that moment, you realized that these gentlemen are both not in their prime, right? There were times in the fight that it was clear and obvious, and there were other times where you could tell they're both legends. But I think Snoop Dogg was amazing. Sugar Ray was good commentating, and Israel Adesanya, UFC champion. I love that guy. He was great as well. Okay. Now, just to get to all the results. So, Jermaine Ortiz defeated Suleiman Segawa. It was a referee stoppage, and that gave Jermaine Ortiz the vacant WBC USNBC Silver Lightweight Championship. Badu Jack looked great, defeated Blake McKernan by unanimous decision in a light heavyweight bout. Now, Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. Jake Paul knocked him out. in a light heavyweight bout. So Jake Paul is now 2-0 with 2 knockouts. 23-year-old young man. He looked good. Nate Robinson looked good. Problem is, big size difference, obviously. Jake Paul was clearly bigger, the more powerful person. I mean, he knocked Nate Robinson out literally cold, flat on his face. He was out for, he wasn't moving for a good 10, 15 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds. It was kind of scary at that point, but he did get up, thank God, and for all intents and purposes, he just got his bell rung. That was all. And Jake Paul talked to Jim Gray. He was also there, the great Jim Gray. Very close with Tyson. I mean, he interviewed Tyson when Tyson was a 20-year-old professional boxer in his prime when he won the title. Jim Gray's literally watched Tyson grow up. And Jake Paul told Jim Gray that he wants to do this professionally. He has a list of people he wants to fight. Conor McGregor. He listed a few other names, but listen, he's putting in the work. Is he a professional? Legit? I don't think so, not yet. I think if he fought a legit professional boxer at this stage, he'd get destroyed, personally. That's right this second. However, as he said, he's 23 years old. Deontay Wilder didn't start boxing till he was 21. And the point is, he's been doing it for about a year. He's been training hard, and he's come this far, and he looks amazing. Is he at that elite status yet? Of course not. But will he be? If he sticks with it, of course. He's only 23. It's hard to know time frame-wise, but listen, you go, Jake Paul. Good for you, man. Proud of you. I don't know you. In fact, I've never watched you or heard you other than last night. And I guess you're a big social media star and whatnot, so you're impressive, dude. Good for you, man. I'm real happy that you're happy. Now to the scores. Okay, so it was a draw, like officially. And they had 3 guest judges, celebrity judges. So we had Chad Dawson, former boxer, obviously, Christy Martin, and of course Vinny Pazienza, who is also a former boxer. I believe Christy Martin is a former fighter, but I'm not 100% sure on her. I apologize, I don't have her information, but they scored this bout. So Chad Dawson scored it a draw, 76-76. Christy Martin scored the bout 79-73 for Tyson. And Vinny Pazienza scored about 80-76 for Roy Jones Jr. So that is an official draw even on their scorecards. However, it was not a draw. Mike Tyson clearly won the fight. If you ever watch it, you'll see. Mike Tyson was clearly far more in shape than Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. was huffing and puffing in the 3rd and 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, 8th round. And Mike Tyson, man, he was not really breathing heavy. Roy Jones Jr. was literally out of breath the whole fight after pretty much the first round. And Mike Tyson, man, he was well conditioned. He could have went more, in my opinion. He was ready. Very professional. And I also have to say, after the fight, Jim Gray asked Mike Tyson, when he told him it was a draw, how do you feel about that? Mike Tyson said, I'm good with that. And then he asked Mike Tyson if he thinks he won. Mike Tyson said, of course. They asked Roy Jones Jr. if he was good with the draw. He said, I'm never good with a draw. I always want to win, blah, blah, blah. Do you think it was a draw? He said, no, I think I won. And Mike Tyson has literally come full circle. If this was the old Mike Tyson, he wouldn't have been good with the draw because he knows he won, and he did win. Right. He hugged Roy Jones Jr. even in the middle of the fight. He hammered Roy Jones Jr. with his patented right hook, left to the body, man. Crushed him. And then the bell rung, and Tyson was just in it, and he got in a couple extra shots. But, you know, you're thinking, uh-oh, Tyson went crazy. Tyson got mad. But no, he hugged him, like, apologized, tapped him on the head. I'm sorry. And then that was it. He was a great sport. I mean, Mike Tyson, I love Mike Tyson because he's not only a comeback story, he's a story that I grew up on, and a lot of us did. You know, I'm 41 years old. I grew up with Mike Tyson. He's just an amazing human, and it shows how someone can truly change their circumstances. I mean, he went from nothing growing up in Brownsville, Catskill, New York, to literally being the king of the world at 20, 21, 22, 23 years old. Like, he didn't know what the word no. So he rose himself from nothing to that, to where he was, at that time, the most popular person in the world. Not in America. We're talking worldwide. Mike Tyson, wherever he was king of the world. Right? It's hard to imagine. I mean, in my opinion, it's arguable who's the most famous person of all time. Maybe Michael Jackson. So think of Michael Jackson when he was in his prime, before all the allegations and everything, worldwide. That's how Mike Tyson was. Except Mike Tyson was doing all kinds of drugs, was, you know, he admittedly just a mess, right? Just crazy, like nuts, living, like, I mean, he's told many stories. You got to just listen to him a little bit, and you realize how nuts he really was and out of control he was. You know, he got pulled over one time. He had cocaine on him. He had like a $300,000 car. He bribed the cop, gave it to the cop so the cop wouldn't arrest him. Cop actually accepted it. Right? And then Tyson took it back a couple days later and said, "No, I'm not doing that. F you, blah, blah, blah." That's the way he tells the story. He doesn't give any names, which is great. So this was never really anything, right? It was just, he protected the cop's identity. But it's crazy because what's the cop going to do at that point? If you think about it, right? It's like, so you accepted a bribe and now you're trying to sue Mike Tyson for taking his own car back because, like, so it's just, he lived an incredible life. Incredible. And he's come so far. So that was that. Listen, I can't wait to see Mike Tyson keep going. When he was being interviewed at the end of the fight with Jim Gray, he said he wants to keep doing this. He's excited. And he proclaimed he's just a beginner. And it's true. You know, he hasn't fought in, over 20 years, 15 years. So he's basically saying, listen, this is my first fight. Of course I'm not going to look amazing. Of course I'm going to look good and bad. So early on, also I wanted to add, he was trying real hard first, second, third round. But I'd say around the fifth round, Mike Tyson stopped trying to knock Roy Jones Jr. out. A lot of body shots where he could have easily went for the head and targeted him, especially in that eighth round. You know, Rafael Cordero, who was his trainer, was telling him in the corner going into the eighth round that you need to do an Ali, you need to do this. And Mike he didn't try to knock him out in the eighth round. He sort of carried him, took body shots as opposed to head shots. And that's that. I just wanted to talk about that. Tell me what you think. I appreciate all of you. I hope you're healthy, happy, and stay well. Please like if you're on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe, please, and comment. If you want to contact me, you can. It's chris@truthmarketer.com is my email. Have a great day, guys.